240 horsepower, 180 miles an hour.
When most people hear the word Testarossa, they typically think of the iconic 1985 model, as few cars bring back so many fond childhood memories for automotive enthusiasts. Ferrari updated the Testarossa in 1992 with the 512 TR.
It goes around corners faster than most cars go down straights.
And again in 1994 with the 512M. But the Testarossa has been around since 1957, and some people, including myself, think the 250 series was the most beautiful model to be graced with the Testarossa name.
There it is. Holy moly. Dear God, it's beautiful.
Like many of you, I spent last week anxiously awaiting the reveal of the SF90 replacement. And then, when I heard the replacement was going to be a new Testarossa, all I could think was,
Stop! My penis can only get so erect.
But then once I actually saw the newest so-called Testarossa, all I could think was,
Look how they massacred my boy.
And as it turns out, I'm not the only person who's mad that Ferrari besmirched the Testarosa's good name by giving it to this god-awful monstrosity of a car. Because out of all the stories published about the 849, the most popular one comes from the drive, and it's all about the overwhelmingly negative response to Ferrari's latest car. And when this story hit Facebook, the comment section went out of control. But is the 849 really that bad? We're going to take a closer look at the new Testarossa to determine why people hate it so much, and we're going to decide if Ferrari really deserves all of the negative backlash that they're getting over this car.
Listen, and listen good. I'm talking to you.
Now, wherever you see people criticizing the new Testarossa, you also see people saying the only reason those people don't like it is because they can't afford it.
Right.
But the people who think that are what is known as controlled thinkers. And when it comes to Ferrari, their only thought process is, every car Ferrari makes is simply the best and most beautiful car ever. And if you disagree, well then you're obviously poor. And besides, the Enzo is one of the most beloved modern Ferraris made, and it costs 6 times more than the new Testarossa. So the logic that people simply hate whatever they can't afford is kind of shitty logic.
You damn right.
There's actually several reasons why people hate the new Testarossa, and the people who hate it are actually the ones who are the most passionate about Ferrari.
Amen, brother.
They're the ones who have the greatest appreciation for Ferrari's heritage.
Tell it, Daddy.
And they hate watching Ferrari flush that heritage down the drain just to make a quick buck.
Testify.
And as strange as it might sound, a lot of these people feel like Ferrari just took a giant shit on their childhood by calling this thing the Testarossa. If you're finding this video to be at least a little bit entertaining, please give it a like so that YouTube shows it to other automotive enthusiasts. And if you're new to my channel, I publish original automotive content that you could not find anywhere else. So if you're not subscribed yet, click below to subscribe. Because yes, the 849 is stylistically awkward and some might say downright horrible looking, but it was Ferrari's act of calling this unworthy car a Testarossa that really struck a nerve with Ferrari fans.
I am talking scorched earth, mother. I will massacre you.
Because let's be honest, This is the newest Ferrari. It doesn't matter what it's called, people are still going to buy it. Ferrari could have called this thing the PJ McPickleshitter and they still would have no trouble selling it. Ferrari could have called it Tiny Tim's furry little testicle tickler and people would still be liquidating their assets just to buy one. Hell, Ferrari could have called this thing the fudge flinging monkey master and people would still be running down to the dealership to beg for an allocation.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Ferrari, the car doesn't have a 12-cylinder engine and it isn't visually groundbreaking or beautiful. There was literally no reason for you to call it a Testarossa. I'm gonna be okay. I just need a minute. Now, in the torrent anger towards the 849 Testarossa, most of the comments fall into one of four categories. It looks like it's made out of Lego. It looks like a Corvette. It looks like it was designed by Hyundai. And Ferrari needs to rehire Pininfarina. But one of the most thought-provoking comments about the new Testarossa comes to us from Eric von Teilingen, who says, "Not even a blind mother could love this car." And this has left a lot of people wondering if it could actually be true, so we took to the streets to find out. Excuse me, ma'am. What are your thoughts on the new Ferrari Testarossa? I hate it. A lot of people are also saying the 849 looks like an ass. But I disagree. If it looked like an ass, it would look a lot better. But I will say that the 849 does have its good points. It looks incredible from the front. It's clean and sleek, and the design reminds me a lot of the 512 BBI. The interior is also pretty cool too, and it does have a 4-liter V8. But the rest of the car is riddled with visually awkward design details. Why is this black vertical belt here? My only thought is that it's supposed to be a design nod to the intake in the 80s and 90s Testarossas, but it looks awful, and I can't help but to think the car would be a lot more attractive without it. And why are these black triangles here? I'm guessing they're supposed to distract us from the slab-sided design of this car and make it look like the rear fender flares out. But this all just looks horrible, almost like an upside-down hangman gallows, which is exactly what Ferrari should have done with this design. Killed it. Xavier Enduez makes a good point about the 849 when he says, "It's horrible. In the times when a Tesla will beat you, if you are going to go for the heritage, at least make it good looking." And he's right. Cars like the Tesla Model S are as bland as they can be, but they have the same performance as a Ferrari. And now that Ferrari no longer offers superior performance, all they have left is the beauty of their cars. But when their cars are no longer beautiful, the brand is no longer special. And there's simply yet another company offering 1,000 horsepower cars for $600,000. And that is another reason why the new Testarossa is angering Ferrari's fan base.
This can't be happening.
But nobody, and I mean nobody, dislikes this car as much as Nathan Bumgardner, who is literally willing to fight people over how ugly it is. Now that is commitment. And honestly, when I first saw this car, I literally stopped and asked myself if it was April Fool's Day. Then I thought maybe this was another one of their one-offs that was made for a particularly wealthy client with particularly bad taste. But no, this is actually the newest Ferrari, and I really tried to give it a chance. But then when I saw it in yellow, all I could think was that it looks like a piece of tamago. And a car simply cannot be beautiful and look like a piece of egg sushi.
We got a point.
So back to the question, does Ferrari deserve the backlash they're getting for the 849? Ferrari is amongst the most powerful companies in the supercar world today. They've got the resources to make the most beautiful and most desirable cars in production. But since they know people are going to buy their cars no matter what, they've decided to put as little effort into their newest car as possible, and they simply took the SF90, gave it some very minor style tweaks and some very minor performance tweaks, and then attached one of the most beloved names in automotive history to make us think that this car was something special.
I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
When all it is just a low effort cash grab. So yeah, people who love Ferrari and obsess over Ferrari's heritage are pretty put off by the 849. And I can sum it all up by saying this: the Testarossa is best known as the car that legions of kids had posters of in their walls in the 1980s. But I don't think anyone is going to have a poster of this car hanging on their wall. Thank you for watching, and for more automotive content that you cannot find anywhere else, click here to subscribe.
And a surprisingly light clutch.